Well, I went to the doctor yesterday to see about my knee and a little disappointed. I do have some tearing. It, I can't remember how they described it, but basically it's some minor tearing in the meniscus. And the I guess I'm more focused on what he was saying that needed to be done from here on out versus, really the diagnosis since it's words that I can't remember in the first place. So, what he said was, well, first of all, I don't need surgery. So, that's great. Praise God for that. And the basics of it is I need to take 4 to 6 weeks to let my knee do some healing. And I guess that's the part I'm disappointed in because I've gained a lot of momentum recently with being able to stay active, do more. I've been walking almost every single day over 8,000 steps, some days 10 and 12, 14,000 steps. And that's on top of other things that I'm doing as far as working out in the gym, lifting, which is one of the things that he said that I need to stop doing temporarily. I need to stop the lifting and just let it do some healing. And I get that. I can understand that. I can see that. I just, like I said, I was a little disappointed with that because of the momentum that I've gained. Um, I've been working out several days a week and I've been walking almost every single day. And it's just been good. My energy levels increased. Just I feel so much better in so many different ways, and God's healing my body through this and even without this. But um, what I just kind of spent some time meditating on this morning is instead of focusing on the disappointment of having to slow that momentum down, and instead of staying focused on that or dreading that, things like that, instead of that being my focus, I made myself shift my focus and start thinking about the fact that there's several guys in my church that I know that have chronic knee issues. They've got scars running up and down their knees, and they've gone through and still growing through a lot of things with their knees. And I'm very blessed that I I'm not on crutches or anything like that. I don't have to have surgery. I don't have big scars where they've had to do surgery because they haven't. All I've ever had done was MRIs, X-rays, and some injections, and that's minor compared to what a lot of the guys that I know, and even close around me in my church and stuff, they've had so much more trouble with their knees. So, and ladies too. I know a lot of ladies who have trouble with their knees as well, including my mother-in-law. But um, the point is I had to shift my focus from thinking about, I've got to slow down. I've got to shift that focus from that to I'm that's fine. I'll change up my routine. I'll do things differently. I can still exercise. I'm not non weight bearing. It's just that I need to switch from instead of doing the elliptical for 30 minutes, I need to do like exercise bike or something like that where I'm sitting down and taking the weight off of the joint and just moving it like that. I can still do some of the exercises and stuff, but I just don't need to do a lot of heavy lifting like I was. I actually went and did a leg workout, and I was doing my heaviest weights on the leg press that I've done since I've been back in the gym, and just have really had a heavy leg workout yesterday. And then, ironically, later in the day, I find out that I need to chill out on my leg workouts. So I'm not one of those guys that likes to skip leg day and shape on my upper body and then have, skinny, puny legs. But, I'll just have to modify my workout for my legs for 4 to 6 weeks. And trust me, I'm going to put it on the calendar when that 4 to 6 weeks is up. I'll probably count down from week 6, week 5, week 4, week 3 until I can, just go back at it. But I guess the main thing I wanted to accomplish in this video is just encouraging other people. If you get some news that you're not exactly happy with, even though you do have to modify your lifestyle, do have to make some changes, doesn't mean that you can't still put your focus in an area that's going to serve you better. And that's what I've got to do. I've got to change and shift my focus into a better area. And instead of focusing on what I can't do, I've got to focus on what I can do. And just kind of a little update on stuff, and like I said, mainly an encouragement to other folks that are going through things. If you have a time where you get that bad news, process it, realize what you have to do, start thinking about the adjustments that you can make and what you can do, and focus on those things, and then move forward. Don't get stuck, spending 2 weeks, down and out because you can't go in there and do what you wanted to do, and you had to change something. And I'm reflecting on my part, on my situation. But instead of focusing and spending a lot of time dwelling on that, just shift your focus quickly. Spend that time that you need, process it, put it before God, and I hope that you have a relationship with God. I don't know what I would do without my peace, and God is my peace. He's my Prince of Peace. But take that time, quickly process it, get before God, ask Him to give you wisdom. That's what I've done. I've asked God to give me wisdom on what I need to do and what I don't need to do for my need to heal. And at the end, I just told Him, I said, well, God, instead of worrying about, how long it needs to heal and what I can do to help it heal, you're the healer. Heal it. And I believe that He can. And I'm going to keep believing that He can. I might wake up tomorrow morning and there not be any more leg problems. He might heal both my knees. So just kind of going from there. But the main point is I'm not going to let it drag me down. I'm not going to let it stop my momentum. And it's not the best news. It's not the news that I wanted, but I can deal with it. It's going to be all right. But I hope in some way it's encouraged you. And I think about Peter walking on the water and how he had one perspective when he stepped out of the boat, and then he started looking around at the wind and the storm and, the things where he was. He's like, I'm out on the water, and this is not possible kind of thing, possibly. And that's when he started sinking, and Jesus picked him up. But just a lot of times, just simply where we put our focus is, going to determine the outcome of how things are done, how things progress, how things turn out. So, like I said, I hope it encourages someone, and I will talk to you later. Bye.